Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 29 of the Detroit Lions franchise here on Madden NFL 21. Today we've reached the preseason part of the 2021 season, so we're jumping into year number 2. Have 4 games, obviously 2 home against the Bucs and the Bears, and they are split up between 2 road games against the football team and the Packers. Very interesting that we have 2 division teams in our preseason games, but nonetheless, here's a look at our roster going into preseason. There's a couple battles to take a look at, predominantly at who will start at right tackle between Tyrell Crosby and Halapuli Vita. I know I definitely misspelled that. But a couple other key players to look at. Marvin Wilson, number 10 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft at defensive tackle. And there's a couple of spots in the backup wide receiver department. Obviously, it's a big room with 3 draft picks in the wide receivers, but I have a couple other guys: Chad Beebe, Keelan Doss, Travis Fulgham, some other guys trying to make a name for himself in this preseason. But if you're excited to take a look at the 2021 Lions for the first time, make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. Here's the first highlight. We have a 4th and 3 go for it by the Tampa Bay Bucs. It is the preseason, so why not go for it? As O.J. Howard will get the first down. Another thing to notice in these games is you see Ronald Jones running for a touchdown. Remember, the backups play the majority of the games, and I did do a little bit of testing in these games. After this first game, I did change slider sets to Matt 10s for the preseason games 2, 3, and 4. I think I'm going to keep those. They aren't all Madden sets, so a little bit more challenging, but I've always heard good things about them, and I used them when I used to play Madden 20. So we're going to be switching slider sets after that one. But here's the Lions taking the field for the first time. Here's Amendola making a nice grab out to the 35. Amendola was our slot receiver, had 10 touchdowns a year ago, and was brought back on a 1-year deal. There's the rookie Tyler Vaughn's getting a catch out in the flat second-round selection out of USC, and he played very, very well in this preseason. You'll see his name quite a few times. Here's a 3rd and 7 screen pass to DeAndre Swift, the second-year man now out of Georgia, who's looking to have a bigger role in the passing game as well as on the ground. Now down to the 3rd and goal for the Lions. It's a linebacker blitz by Tampa Bay, and Stafford will go down. So Detroit will settle for 3 here. And 7-3 in the early going now. Backups are in the game, and there is a backup rookie for us, Nate Landman, who gets the quarterback on the sack. Shamar Stephen is shaken up on the play. Any injuries you see from our team in this episode? There was no major injuries. They just kind of were out for the rest of the game. But there is a stop from Detroit, and Tampa Bay is going to go for it on 4th and 1. And they are not going to get it. Another stop. I think that was Jake Hansen, the undrafted rookie left outside linebacker. And he played very well this preseason as well. A couple of undrafted guys got some showouts, and he actually, I think, made the team. So good for him. Now here's a little later in the second quarter, you're seeing Sam Ehlinger, the rookie out of Texas, is your backup now in Tampa Bay. They selected him in the 3rd round, maybe see if he could be the replacement from Tom Brady whenever he retires. And Ehlinger, you can see, has some wheels to him. That's already his 3rd rush in this game. Now 1st and 10 inside the red zone. There's a blitz, and it's Jared Davis getting to the quarterback, the young man out of Florida who signed a 2-year extension last season. It hasn't really quite lived up to his hype as a former 1st-round pick, but Lions not willing to give up on him just yet, as there's a stop now. 4th and 1. The Bucs going to go for it again, and quick throw right side. He's intercepted by Will Harris in the end zone, so that is a touchback. But Harris, he was a guy going into this year, I wanted him to have a bigger role, and he's really, just kind of fighting for extra time here in the preseason, as there's a deep pass towards the end of the first half that sees Cordell Patterson. And then next play, 1st and 10, there's another deep pass to Cordell Patterson. So 2 for Cordell Patterson in the early going, as Cordell was brought in on a 3-year deal. Very interesting, controversial pick up. Not everybody will probably like signing Cordell Patterson to a 3-year deal, but I wanted a dynamic return game, and I think he could do something as a receiver. He was very dominant in Chicago a year ago, over 1,200 receiving yards. So maybe he was able to stand out. But here's the Buccaneers driving once more, and he's picked off again by Will Harris. Another interception. This time he's taking it to the opposite end zone for a touchdown. So 2 picks in this game for Will Harris. obviously making an impact. He was one of the guys I thought about moving to free safety and just rolling with him and Walker, but we did bring in Anthony Levine, so. But nice to know that we have Will Harris just in case something happens in the safety department. Here's 2nd and 8, almost another interception as we had a couple of defenders collide. And now 3rd and 8, trying to set up a screen. It's not going to happen. There's Jaleel Johnson who brings him down. He is a former Viking who has some experience underneath Mike Zimmer, who is our new head coach, and is going to get some playing time in this preseason. There is Jarrett Patterson on the ground, the undrafted rookie running back out of Buffalo. Now, we did draft a running back, Trey Ragas, in this past draft, but Jarrett Patterson was a nice, interesting man who I thought, worth a shot. He has hidden development for an undrafted rookie running back, so our room is already kind of full, but Jarrett Patterson is making it even fuller, so a lot of running backs trying to fight for those positions. Here is Trey Ragas. You can see him picking up a first down on his first carry. Ragas also has hidden development. Lions will settle for a field goal, 41-yard shot, and they will hit it to make it 18-7. Now Tampa Bay with the ball. 1st and 10. There's a quick little throw out and gets away from the defenders. Our backup corners didn't really play that good. That's kind of how it goes in Madden. Usually the backups usually don't play that well, but Mike Ford, Mac McCain, an undrafted rookie corner in this game. Arurie, a couple of backup corners who didn't really play good. There's a touchdown pass to Cameron Brate, who almost could be a starting tight end for some people, but Tampa Bay has all the offensive weapons. Here's a 3rd and 3, Sean Mannion, and he's going to be fumbled. Tries to set up a screen. Unfortunately, could not get it off. Sean Mannion, another guy we brought in to maybe fight for a backup quarterback job. That did not help him. Now 3rd and 7, the Buccaneers do miss. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Down by 5. Sam Ehlinger tries to throw to the end zone. He's off target, so a turnover on downs gets the ball to the Lions. Here they go, 3rd and 9. Mannion trying to set up a screen and incomplete. So Lions give the Bucs a minute 33 to go. Could have just run it down to 50 seconds, but nonetheless, Ehlinger, see if he can make something happen. There's a nice throw to the sidelines in front of Ford. Now 2nd and 10 inside the 5, and he does get it to O.J. Howard for a touchdown. So Sam Ehlinger showed lots of promise on that drive, and the Buccaneers actually beat the Lions in this one 19-18. It is the preseason, so wins and losses don't really matter too much, but they did outgain us as well, as outside of Stafford, no quarterback really played that well. Trey Ragas had some catches. Cordell Patterson had his 2 big for 59, so a couple players stood out here and kind of got my attention. But going into game number 2, it'll be against the Washington football team. And here's where I switched the sliders to Matt 10's All Madden set. So you'll see a couple of differences in this one as both teams taking the field. There's Kerryon Johnson. He's still the starting running back for us. But on 4th and 1, we're actually going to try a fake of our own. Direct snap to Jesse James, and he fights and gets the first down. So got that idea from the Bucs. Used it here against the football team. That sets up a 2nd and 5 later, and Kerryon Johnson is laid out and fumbles. That would be a common trend in this game. Donta Hightower just absolutely decked Kerryon Johnson. But might need to move the foot fumble slider down a little bit. You might be able to see what I'm talking about. But 2nd and 8, 49 yards right down the middle, splitting the safeties for a touchdown. Beautiful throw by Dwayne Haskins, as Washington had the 3rd overall selection this past draft. Everybody knew Trevor Lawrence was a good number 1, but some people thought the football team might go Justin Fields. They passed and stuck Patrick Surtain at number 3 instead. Here's a 3rd and 7 to T.J. Hockenson across the middle. There is another hit stick fumble by this football team defense, as Chase Young has 2 fumble recoveries. But as you can see, lots of fumbles going around. This will go the other side, 12 yards out. There is the new Washington member, Alvin Kamara, one of 2 running backs who signed with Washington this past offseason, the other one being Kareem Hunt. So Washington trying to follow the same philosophy that Cleveland did this past year to get to the Super Bowl, where they had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt lead the way for them. But here's a 1st and goal sack for Jelani Tavai, NFL leader in tackles a season ago. Sets up 3rd and 7, empty set, pump fakes right across the middle though. Touchdown Washington, as they will extend their lead in this one, 14-0. Now in the third quarter, so the second half, backups come in, and the backup quarterback in Washington is Josh Rosen. So he's still bouncing around the league. There's a 27-yard connection on his first throw. Gets it inside the 20. Another outside beautiful throw on the curl route in front of Aruwariye. I'm probably saying his name way wrong. And now second and goal, nice throw to the left side. Yes, that's a touchdown. So very good drive by Josh Rosen. And that puts the football team up 21-0. Here's Chase Daniel, handoff to Jason Huntley. And he's hit sticks and will fumble it as well. There is the number 3 overall pick, Patrick Surtain out of Alabama. Second and 3 now, or third and 5 for Rosen. He fails with the screen pass, so at least the Lions do force a punt. But now second and 7, Chase Daniel still in the game. There's a nice catch to Keelan Doss, one of the wide receivers, fighting for a roster spot. Nothing will happen on that drive, though, for Detroit. So here's a handoff. There's Kareem Hunt. He is stopped in the backfield. He is not done so good against these backups. So that's very interesting to see. There is Marvin Wilson. He's not a backup. That's the number 10 overall pick in the backfield. Look at this. It's a big boy to put in the middle of your line. Now here's David Blau in the game. There's a nice crossing pattern to Keelan Doss on a 3rd and 26. Won't pick up the first, but does get 20 yards and sets up a 4th and 6 as the Lions just trying to get on the board. There's a crossing route. Travis Fulgham, another wide receiver I mentioned, fighting for a roster spot. He will move the chains as David Blau, he is 5 for 9 his start. Here is a 2nd and 7, throw to the left side. There's Chad Beebe making a phenomenal catch. So 3 wide receivers in a row fighting for a roster spot. Make good catches and state their case. 3rd and 6, though. Here is a throw to the flats. He is picked off, and that one's going to the house for a 6. I hit the wrong button on that throw, so I can't really blame that one on David Blau. But Washington extends their lead 28-0. Now, 3 minutes to go in the fourth. Can Detroit actually get on the board? David Blau throwing across the middle. He's going to find Tyler Vaughns for the big connection. That's 28 yards. Vaughns really showing out in his extended role. 3rd and 10, another throw to him, and he does get the touchdown. So Detroit does get on the board. Good throw by David Blau right there to put it in that tight window. And good catch for the former member of Southern Cal. 2nd and 1 now. The game's all but over, but here's another throw. Catch by Ty Johnson and another hit stick fumble. Just wanted to show you how many times we lost the ball because of fumbles in this game. But Washington does beat us 28-7. We outgained them by well over 100 yards, but 5 takeaways is going to hurt you tremendously, especially when 4 of those are fumbles. But a couple of players stood out. The wide receivers I thought played really well in this game. Chad Beebe, Travis Fulgham, and Keelan Doss. Don't know if we'll have a roster spot for all 3 of them, but they're trying to hold on. You saw Tyrell Crosby give up a sack. Him and Vaitai fighting for that right tackle starting position. And 2 forced fumbles for Jacoby Stevens and Patrick Surtain, 2 young studs for Washington. Now before game number 3, I did sign Jacob Bobenmoyer. Now you probably wonder, why am I signing a 28 overall tight end? That's because I want him to play long snapper. Obviously, Madden, for some reason, doesn't really respect the long snappers, but to make it realistic, we got to have a long snapper on the team, and I don't just want it to be the starting center. So Jacob Bobenmoyer, I think he is the former long snapper for Denver, will be ours for this 2021 season. There is a sack by Deshaun Hand. Haven't said his name, but he had a phenomenal 2020 season. Defensive line played very well overall, but it'll be very interesting to see how they step up to this 4-3 set. But the secondary did not play good at all. There is a 41-yard touchdown to Deshaun Hamilton. As you can see, Levine Sr., who's supposed to have middle third of the field, just kind of late reacting on the seam route. So not a good look for him. One of the guys we signed to be free safety this year. There is a nice run by DeAndre Swift. He will get out past midfield for a gain of 13 on his first carry. And then later in I formation, Kerryon Johnson, his first carry, he's going to gain about 15 and breaks a tackle. So obviously we still want the running game to be a big part of this offense. Kerryon Johnson, DeAndre Swift showed us why in the preseason, as we did stall out though and kick a field goal. Now 1st and 10, as you notice, also Nick Foles is your quarterback once more in Chicago. And this is the 3rd preseason game, so we're going to see a lot of the starters who we would normally face. Nick Foles did start the 2020 season a starter in Chicago, and he actually lit it up to start the year, but eventually kind of sputtered out. Matt Nagy made the move to start Mitchell Trubisky, and the Bears crumbled. They had the number 9 overall pick, and now Mitchell Trubisky is backing up Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. So there's a little bit of history as what's been going on with Chicago as they kick a field goal to go up 10-3. Now here's a 3rd and 11 play for Stafford inside his own 17. He's going to air it out deep for Kenny Golladay, and Golladay goes up and mosses 3 defenders. Kenny Golladay, what a grab, 55 yards. Had a phenomenal season last year, over 1,200 yards for us. He has really emerged as a true number 1 receiver. And look at this play right here. 3 defenders, goes up and over and brings that ball down. It's always nice to have that one receiver where if you just need to get a play, throw it up and let him work. Detroit does kick a field goal though, so it is 10-6. Now Chicago with the ball at about midfield. Throws across the middle. Nice, beautiful, tight throw past the linebackers. That is right behind Jamie Collins, who will have an extended role in the nickel package. Jamie Collins, don't think he was really utilized to his best potential last year. I kind of used him more as a pass and run stopper, but he does have zone coverage ability, so I want to get Jamie Collins out there in the nickel, as there's a nice 22-yard catch to Kenny Golladay. 3rd preseason game, so starters are playing into the 3rd quarter. Here's a nice run by Kerryon Johnson. He laterals, but thankfully Taylor Decker was there to pick it up. I meant to hit R1 to cover the football, but accidentally hit L1 to pitch. Luckily for us, it didn't matter, as there's a nice catch by TJ Hawkinson in traffic. Gets it down to the 1, and now 3rd and goal. We get a false start by Vitae, backing us up a little bit, as not a good look, as both him and Crosby didn't really have the best preseasons. Let's see if it mattered though. 3rd and goal. Stafford looks left side, and he is intercepted at the goal line by Roquan Smith. Just forced that one into what is very tight coverage, and Detroit walks away with nothing on that drive. Chicago goal to the other side of the field. Now 3rd and goal. Looks right side, and he is stuffed at the 1, as that will make it 4th and goal. The Bears are going to go for it here in the preseason, and he is not going to get there. Backup safety CJ Moore and Jared Davis bring him down. That is where Jared Davis is at. His strength is in the run stopping department. I want to also utilize that this year as well. There's a 14-yard run by DeAndre Swift, who had a very solid preseason. He gets us out of the shell of our goal line. Now 1st and 10. Chase Daniels finally in the game, throws it deep, and there is a pass interference. So that will net us about half the field. Gets us to the 37. Daniel looking across the middle. Beautiful throw to Jesse James in a very tight window. Jesse James really showed out in this preseason. Now, we ran a lot of 2 tight end sets last year underneath Matt Patricia. Probably won't run as much this year, but Jesse James made us almost have to. I mean, 6'6" body, made beautiful plays. As you saw on 4th down, we unfortunately didn't get it. That'll give the ball over to the Bears, who cannot make the grab. That was Mike Ford in coverage. Now 1st and 10 for us on the 13, driving, and Jesse James goes up and brings it in for a touchdown. There is the former Pittsburgh Steeler with a touchdown. That puts us down by 1, but it's the preseason. We're going to go for it here. I don't want to settle for overtime. 2-point conversion. There's the pass out on the flats to Bo Scarborough. He does get it, and the Detroit Lions go up 14-13. Kellen Mond, who is now in Chicago, the backup to Foles. He's going to try to make some magic happen. 25 seconds to go. Does get in field goal range. Breaks a tackle, but tries to do too much. He loses the football. That is picked up by Nate Landman, and he will dive on the ground. Kellen Mond, very good drive. Just, one thing he'll learn, this isn't Texas A&M. You can't really make things happen all the time. But we do pick up a win in preseason game number 3, 14-13. Stafford didn't look overly that impressive. The run game looked very strong as well. Kenny Golladay 4 for 108. That is a nice stat line for him. On the blocking, Vitae gave up a sack in his 3 quarters of work. And then Jamie Collins and Justin Coleman led the way in the tackle department for us. Romeo Okwara had a sack and a half. He had a very breakout season last year. That takes us to the final preseason game. We go to a very familiar stadium at Lambeau Field. Face the Green Bay Packers. who have a couple of new pieces of their own. Here is on 1st and 10 from their own 1. That's not a new piece. That's Dylan. Breaks it deep, but as you saw there was a block in the back. Maybe an unnecessary block in the back, but a 99-yard touchdown run will go for absolutely nothing. You hate to see that. That was a good run, though, by A.J. Dillon, the former Boston College Eagle. And Trey Flowers was hurt on the play, but like I said earlier, nobody that got hurt was going to miss any time. But Trey Flowers will obviously not play any in this game. Here on 3rd and 6, Rodgers breaks a tackle and is brought down by Levine Sr. Nice coverage by him as well as to get the run. Now 2nd and 10 for the Lions. Stafford drifts back on the crossing pattern. There's Kenny Golladay again. Just an absolute matchup nightmare. He can play in the slot. He can play outside. Get all the way down to the 11 of Green Bay. And there's Golladay in the end zone on the curl route. Touchdown Lions as they strike first in this preseason game. Stafford connects with Kenny Golladay. We hope to see that a lot in the regular season. Packers, though, will answer. Here's Jordan Love, the former first-round pick out of Utah State. Looks across the middle, has plenty of time, and finds a receiver in the end zone. That is Equanimeous St. Brown, another rookie wide receiver who will score that touchdown. 2nd and 10 now. Here is the Lions, and there's a quick throw to the outside. Tyler Vaughns makes a juke move, and he will answer with a touchdown of his own. So rookie wideouts going back-to-back against each other. There is another beautiful play by Tyler Vaughns. Just hit the juke move, and he was gone. 1st and 10 for the Packers, and Jordan Love is picked off by who else? Will Harris. He will not score on this one, but he does get it to the 3. I apologize. I called St. Brown a rookie a second ago. Don't know why I called him a rookie. He's been in the league for quite a couple years. Can the Lions capitalize, though, on the interception? They do, as there is a touchdown in the back of the end zone. 21-7 Lions. First half winding down. Jordan Love trying to find an answer of his own. Has plenty of time in the pocket, but it does eventually run out. There is Romeo Okwara bringing Jordan Love down for a covered sack. But now 4th and goal to get all the way back up to the 2 minute to go. They're going to go for it. There is a naked bootleg, and there's absolutely nobody there. Brought down for a sack. That is Jake Hansen, the undrafted linebacker, with the brought down. Lions trying to do something on their drive, but Daniels hit and intercepted, so they give the ball right back to Green Bay. There is Oren Burks with the interception. Tried to find his check down man, wasn't able to get it. And now this time 2nd and goal from the 1. Green Bay does get it in the end zone. That is St. Brown again for his 2nd touchdown of the day. So I don't know if he's trying to fight for a roster spot, but he had 2 touchdowns in this game. 3rd and 5 now in the 3rd quarter. Jordan Love loading up deep. Has a man, but it is incomplete. Nice make-up ground by Mike Ford to force the incompletion. Detroit Lions now with the ball. There's another slant crossing pattern. Chad Beebe, who has plenty of room to run, will get inside Green Bay territory. Chad Beebe had a nice game. That is David Blau's first throw and completion of the day for 37. But now 4th and 2, David Blau in the pocket, tries to go over the middle, and he is intercepted. I don't know why, but I hit the wrong button again. That's never really been a problem for me. But Oren Burks is rewarded with his 2nd interception of the day. Inside the 3rd quarter now, Jordan Love in the pocket, looks to throw deep, had plenty of time to throw, and he finds the window. So this backup Detroit Lions pass rush not really doing all that impressive. There's a nice stop on Green Bay's first-round pick this year, Travis Etienne. So Green Bay lost Aaron Jones in the offseason. He's now in Denver, but they have Travis Etienne in his place. That's not Etienne, however. That's A.J. Dillon, another former ACC running back. But Etienne, one of the best overall players this past draft. He was the first running back taken. So Green Bay might have found the replacement. And I don't know if he's necessarily a replacement, but St. Brown again takes a 74-yard touchdown to the house. He beat Aurier, and that was a score by Green Bay. As this one kind of started to turn ugly, another touchdown for Green Bay. A.J. Dillon finds the end zone for his 2nd receiving touchdown of the day. And now it's 35-21 Green Bay. 4th and 15. Here's the Lions trying to go for it across the middle. Sean Mannion, he is intercepted and that is going to be brought back to the 15. Nice pick by Ashby of Green Bay. Would they answer? Very next play, Jordan Love underneath center. He's going to throw. He's going to look right side. He's going to have his receiver who flies into the end zone. Touchdown Packers. As just like that, it became 42-21. That will be your ball game. As Manning got picked off again. We didn't see that one though. But that'll do it for the preseason. Let me know down below who you thought was impressive. As we'll take a look at the roster cuts in just a second. As one thing though, right tackle Vaitai, I do think did win the job. Plus he is being paid an absurd amount of money. So Vaitai will be our starting right tackle. Excuse me, him and Crosby didn't play all that great overall. But before we get into cuts, take a look at the stats across. Kerryon Johnson only 4 yards a carry. Swift on the other hand only had 3.4. So running backs not all too well. Galladay and Tyler Vaughn's both of them were our top receivers. As Tyler Vaughn's definitely earned himself some playing time in this upcoming year. Don't know if he'll be the number 3 receiver or the number 4, but wherever spot he is in, if he is a number 4 receiver, he might have to run a lot more 4 receiver sets. On defense, Jared Davis led the way in tackles with 22. Collins had 20 of his own. And then in the sack department, it was Romeo Cora led the way, 2.5 sacks. So trying to build off a solid 2020 season, as he will be our pass rusher on passing downs. Interceptions only had 3, and they were all to Will Harris, former Boston College Eagle. A couple of cuts. We did cut David Blau, so the backup out of Purdue didn't make it. Chad Beebe as well. Bo Scarborough might have been a little bit of a surprising cut. He does not make the team. And here is a look at our final roster. We're only going to carry 2 quarterbacks, Stafford and Daniel. Do carry 5 running backs, so Jarrett Patterson did make it. And all the receivers fighting for a roster spot didn't quite get it. So we did have 3 rookies, but Keelan Doss and Chad Beebe will be on the practice squad. Kelechi Osemele holding it down. I meant to mention him. Signed a 1-year deal to be our starting right guard this offseason. Take a look at the line. Nothing else really overall that surprising in the roster cuts. Only going to carry 3 middle linebackers. Christian Jones are right outside. 5 corners, as we do keep Arurie just because, it's contract. It would cost more to cut him than just to save him. So we are carrying 5 corners. But on our practice squad, we have Quintez Cephas, Travis Fulgham, Kevin Ladas, Cameron Smith, Jason Huntley, Mac McCain III, Hunter Bryan, Kevin Strong, John Panisi, and Christian Ellis. Take a look at our schedule. We do open up at Baltimore and have a couple of games. We'll see Trevor Lawrence week 2, so that'll be exciting. Play the Rams, Vikings, and then play the AFC North this year. So we'll play the Cleveland Browns. And then our conference in the NFC is the NFC West. So we'll see the Packers, Rams, Cardinals, and Seahawks. But we're going to open up with a road game against Baltimore, facing the former NFL MVP Lamar Jackson. That'll be coming later in this episode. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think we're going to do this year? Do you think we're going to have a improvement? Do you think we're going to degress? Or do you think we're going to flatline at 7-9? But thank you guys overall for checking out this episode. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.